Hi, I'm Kerry with Best of Us in Retirement. This video I'm going to share with you here today was actually shot in March of 2020. I had just gotten back from a conference in San Diego for the social media marketing. And I had an experience there that truly moved me. And I came home and shot this video, and it's one of my favorite videos because I think it speaks to who I am and who I want to be and who I could have been, might have been. You watch it. You see if you can find yourself anywhere in this story and see if you can gain from it and maybe be a little bit more thankful for who you are, why you are, and what you turned out to be. So watch this. I'm proud of it. I live in Alabama. To be specific, I live in Mountain Brook, Alabama. Mountain Brook is the wealthiest community in the state of Alabama. Has the best school systems, and we live in a beautiful home. Had reason this last week because of the social media conference held in San Diego to be in San Diego. Stayed at the Hyatt Hotel, but I forgot my deodorant. So I ventured out in the evening and went into the city and went to Ralph's supermarket. As I was traveling to Ralph's, I noticed that there were a lot of homeless in the city. All generations, all colors, all races, creeds, whatever. I found myself moving to the opposite side of the street so as to avoid them. But I got into Ralph's, got my deodorant, came to the checkout, and right across from me was a gentleman. He was wearing a fatigue jacket similar to this. I acquired mine back in the 60s as I was trained in Fort Dix, New Jersey on the 81 millimeter in the United States Army in the infantry. Never made it to Vietnam, but I suspected the guy I was looking at that was close to my age, maybe a little younger. I suspected maybe he made it to Vietnam. He wasn't as clean as I was. His jacket didn't look as crisp and nice as mine did. He had longer hair. But I saw myself in him, and I said to myself, that could be me. Oh, for a few different travels through life, that could be me. And at that point, this series that I'm doing on the retirement crisis took a whole different perspective. The more I thought about it, the more I believed this guy was a victim. So I created a story and what might have been and how I might have fit into that story, how I might have been that guy there at Ralph's, how I got a job after I graduated from college and worked for Purex and worked my way up and we bought a house and we were living well, and I had a 401k and I had an IRA, and then the dot-com bubble came and most of it went away. Luckily I was involved in the financial markets, so I knew how to keep some of it. I saw some of this happening. But I thought about that guy in Ralph's, and he probably didn't. So he probably, like me, was married with 2 children, and he lost most of his IRA. But they got back on their feet, and they worked hard. The 2 of them worked hard, and they bought a house, and they started making some payments. The system was working such that they didn't have to put a lot down, and they could build some equity, and so they took a special kind of loan. And then in '08, he lost his home, he lost his job, he lost his marriage, he lost his family, and he became homeless. And he's been there on the street for quite some time now. So this retirement crisis became personal to me. That could have been me. Maybe it should have been me. I don't know. Just for the grace of God, some hard work and some personal attitude that I have that I can't lose and I will not give up. But maybe this guy did. And I got to thinking, Is he an anomaly? And as I walked down the street, I said, no. No, we've all heard the stories about the lady living in a house and she and her cat eat from the same table. We've all heard about people who get their power turned off, so they go out and buy a kerosene heater and they end up burning their house down. We've all heard these stories, and these are the victims of the retirement crisis. Here in the United States, 45% of the baby boomers have no savings. They have no savings. They live off of their Social Security, and maybe they were lucky and they have a pension, but most of them don't, because pensions went out of style and out of corporations' minds in the 80s when they wanted to transfer that risk from their basket to the employee's basket. And so that's how the guy in Rouse lost his IRA, spent it down to get through the dot-com bubble, to get through the subprime crisis. So 45%, and that represents 35 million boomers have no savings. 90% of them, their only income is Social Security. If they're single, the average Social Security amounts to $1,461 a month. That's $17,500 a year. You can't live on that. If he's married and he worked and his wife's getting half of what he gets, he's getting $2,191 a month. That works out to be $26,298 a year. It takes the average 65-year-old in the United States $45,000 a year to live. The average, not the average boomer, the medium boomer, when you take the 1%ers out that have millions of dollars and have no financial worries whatsoever, the median boomer has a net worth of $80,000. $50,000 of it is in the equity in their home. So they have maybe a $30,000 savings. Well, if it takes them $45,000 to live and they have $25,000 in Social Security, and that's 90% of their income, they have a $20,000 shortage. So in reality, they have a life expectancy of 15 years, but they have a financial life expectancy of less than 3 years. And that was the guy I was looking at in Ralph's. His family probably fell apart. He was hoping that maybe I had an apple, or maybe I had a loaf of bread in my basket, and after I paid for it, I might turn around and hand it to him. This is the retirement crisis on a personal level. It could have been me. It could have been you. It may be you in the future. We've got a problem. We need to address it. These people are victims of our system. But this is what the true retirement crisis is all about. The other side of the crisis is that we don't have anything in place to stop this. In fact, we are making it worse. To the other 55% of the boomers who we've made pension promises to, we have pension, state, federal obligations. We don't have the money to pay them, so we will print more money. We will put our great-grandchildren further and further in debt. To all of the baby boomers, and then the Generation X's following them, we have a Social Security crisis. We don't have the funds to fulfill our obligations, but yet we will print more money. The other side of it I got to thinking about is my wife's parents, Virgil and Pauline. They passed away a number of years ago, but in their retirement, they had all their money in CDs. And they were making somewhere between 5 and 7% on their CDs. Today, that's not an option. Today, the 10-year Treasury is down to 0.95, less than 1%. So a CD is paying less than 1%. So these people who do have some funds are put in a position where they have to chase return. They can't use CDs to supplement their Social Security and maybe their small pension check. They have to chase returns. They have to compete with the algorithms of the hedge funds who are moving this market up and down. They have gone through the last week as a result of the virus crisis and seen their savings go up and down on a daily basis and putting them into panic. They don't have the option of CDs. So I don't think the powers that be have ever been in Ralph's. I don't think they have ever looked at this man that was my age, that could have been me, with messed up hair, at least mine is washed, that gave part of his life to his country, and then the cards that he was dealt are just not what he thought it was going to be. We need to rethink this.